Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXP and today is the 7th of August 2023 and unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin is not looking good and the global cryptocurrency market is not looking good either, and there is this massive news that XRP whales are going ahead and dumping the XRP, and because of that if you actually look at the price of XRP, it is down by well over 10% over a period of 7 days. So in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what is going on with Ripple's XRP. And guys, listen, one of the biggest events that is going to take place next year is the US election, and looks like a lot of the politicians, both from the Republican and from the Democratic side, are definitely advocates of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So in today's episode, we'll very briefly touch base on US election and what kind of connection do they have for Bitcoin donations and cryptocurrency donations as well. So definitely powerful news. And look guys, when you talk about Bitcoin, ideally it was created as a movement towards separation of money and the states, but looks like politics and politicians, they do have a very strong say in the trajectory and the direction of Bitcoin's adoption and also cryptocurrency adoption. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore what side of political allies are in favor of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now we have some update regarding WorldCoin as well, and since the last few weeks or so, WorldCoin has definitely made quite a lot of news, not just in the artificial intelligence space, but also in the cryptocurrency space. But this news, guys, is a little bit scary as the data now reveals that top 20 wallets currently have 94% of the WorldCoin supply, so definitely not ideal. Imagine what would happen if these top wallets were to decide to go ahead and dump all the coins. Now mind you guys, it is also possible that out of this top 20 wallets, some of them own maybe 3-4 wallets or maybe even 10 wallets, you never know. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss the impact of this negative news. And finally guys, we have some update regarding the legend that is Sam Bankman-Fried, and looks like the US Department of Justice are definitely advocating him to go to prison. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about that. And guys, since almost 2 months now, what I'm doing is in my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, I'm breaking down each particular protocol, let's say Ethereum, Solana, Cardano and quite a lot of other. Now in today's episode, before we look at the price of the king of all kings that is Bitcoin, I'm going to be discussing what Lido is. And to be honest, ever since the staking reward kicked in, Lido is definitely making the most news in the cryptocurrency world. So in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and look at that. And like we do in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, guys, I'm going to be discussing 2 news regarding Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news, guys, is regarding an event that I'm conducting on the 1st of September, and that is to do with central bank digital currency. And the session, guys, is called Central Bank Digital Currency, the Basics, the Threats to Freedom and its Role in the Metaverse. So in today's episode, I'll go ahead and discuss how you can register for it and what is it that you can expect in that session. And the second news, guys, is all to do with artificial intelligence, and it is to do with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the news is that Saudi Arabia's powerhouse, called as Mozn, has been recognized as one of the world's top fintechs for 2023. So in today's episode, guys, I'll also try to discuss how does blockchain technology and cryptocurrency merges with this news. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode. So let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Shalu Group, a luxury retail and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalu Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3, and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalu Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalu Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast
is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market, because unfortunately guys, over the weekend, the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is not looking good at all. The global cryptocurrency market is at $1.16 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it is marginally down by 0.01%. Now mind you guys, I'm looking at these prices at early hours in Dubai in the Middle East, and at this point of time when I'm looking at these prices, there is a very high possibility that it is still Sunday or late Sunday in most of the Western countries, and most likely tomorrow, the prices might have some mover. Now the total cryptocurrency market volume over the last 24 hours is only at $19.74 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 10.02%. The volume in DeFi is absolutely ridiculous, and it is down to $2.11 billion, and DeFi guys accounts for 10.67% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And last week guys, in my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, pretty much every day I had some news, mostly negative, regarding DeFi. We spoke about the hack that happened in Curve Finance. We also talked about the ridiculous low volume so far as DeFi is concerned. Now so far as the total value locked is concerned guys, it is at $40.75 billion. Really low number, and Lido is still dominating with 14.76%. And later on guys, I'll go ahead and give out more information regarding Lido, such as what is Lido Finance, who's the team behind it, and what is it that makes it unique. Now as of today, 7th of August, the decentralized exchange to centralized exchange dominance stands at 11.4%. And to be honest guys, I'm really curious to check when it actually touches the 40% mark. The moment it touches the 40% mark, at a macro level, it gives us an understanding of what the state of decentralized exchange or decentralized finance is, and that would actually mean that people are actually preferring using decentralized protocol in comparison, let's say, to centralized protocol. Now let's very quickly run through the 24-hour volume, because surprisingly guys, the number one protocol is Curve Finance and not Uniswap, and its volume is $744.76 million, whereas Uniswap, to be honest, for the second time this year, is down to number 2nd, and it is at $354.98 million. Now there is a very high possibility is because of the hack on Curve Finance last week. Curve Finance's volume is at number 1, because to be honest guys, a lot of the funds were actually being exploited because of Curve Finance. Now the third protocol is PancakeSwap, and its 24-hour volume is $232.31 million, followed by Maverick Protocol at $33.7 million, and finally MetaTDEX at $33.52 million. Now guys, let's very quickly run through the volume of stable coins, and what I'm going to be doing is guys, I'm going to be looking at the market cap and then comparing it with the 24-hour trading volume. And to be honest guys, for some odd reason, in 2023, Tether USDT's market cap has been on an incline, and the number of people actually using it, or rather the 24-hour volume, has been going down. So the market cap and the 24-hour volume just does not make absolutely any sense. Now Tether USDT's market cap as of today is $83.89 billion, but the 24-hour trading volume is $14.23 billion. Definitely something shady going on so far as Bitfinex's Tether USDT is concerned. And last week, guys, I also talked about the attestation report, which is done by BDO Italy, and I definitely shared my thoughts and opinion on it. Now, the second most protocol so far stablecoins is concerned is Circle USDC, and its market cap is $26.5 billion. But if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is down to $1.81 billion. Now, the third protocol, guys, is really interesting because the third protocol so far as market cap is a protocol called as MakerDAO, and the native token is DAI. And listen to this, guys, and the market cap is $4.03 billion. But if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is absolutely ridiculous and only down to $100,000. Something fishy definitely going on. Now, the number 4th protocol is Binance BUSD, and its market cap has been on an absolute decline. It is down to $3.42 billion. And probably for the very first time, guys, the 24-hour trading volume is less than $1 billion, and Binance BUSD's market cap is down to $924 million. And just to give you some idea, guys, in September of last year, the 24-hour trading volume of Binance BUSD used to hover somewhere between the 8, on certain days even $14 billion. So from $8 billion to $14 billion, today the 24-hour trading volume of Binance BUSD is down to less than $1 billion. And this, unfortunately, guys, is the power of regulations and how that is connected to politics and politicians, which we'll definitely dwell into. Now let's quickly look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum, because to be honest, guys, Bitcoin's market cap is not looking good at all. It is down to $565 billion, and in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, the market cap of Bitcoin had crossed the $600 billion mark only on 2 occasions, and Ethereum's market cap is not looking good either. It is down to $219 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin, guys, is down to $6 billion, whereas Ethereum is $2.7 billion. The dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum has been relatively consistent. Bitcoin is 48.70%, whereas Ethereum is 18.90%. Now, before we look at the king of all kings, guys, let's quickly look at what is Lido. And to be honest, guys, in 2023, or after the staking reward kicked in, the most used protocol, not just in Ethereum space, but across all cryptocurrency protocol, is actually Lido. So in today's episode, let me very briefly run through what Lido is, because Lido DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization, is a decentralized organization that offers a way for people to participate in staking on various blockchain networks like Ethereum, and the ticker symbol for Lido DAO is LDO. And staking, guys, as we know, is like putting your cryptocurrency into a special amount to help the network run smoothly, and in return you can earn rewards. Now let me very briefly run through what liquid staking and STETH is. The Lido's DAO standout feature is liquid staking. So when you stake your cryptocurrency, let's say like Ethereum with Lido, you get paid special tokens called as STETH, and these STETH tokens, guys, represents the cryptocurrencies you've staked and the rewards you've earned. And unlike traditional staking where your funds are locked up, STETH tokens are more flexible and you can trade them or use them for other things as well. And these tokens, guys, are secured by smart contracts and governance. And Lido, to be honest, guys, is extremely safe because it uses smart contracts, which are like automated agreements, to handle everything from receiving your cryptocurrency to giving you STETH tokens and rewards. And people who hold LDO tokens have the power to make decisions about how Lido works. They vote on things like who gets help with staking and how the system should be updated. Now let me very briefly run through what are some of the unique features, because to be honest, guys, its easy access and low barrier entry makes Lido Finance completely unique and easy for the general mass to operate. And Lido DAO is designed to make staking accessible to absolutely everyone. You don't need to be a tech expert, to be honest, and you don't need a lot of cryptocurrency to start with as well. This is completely different from, let's say, traditional staking, where you often need a large amount of cryptocurrency to participate. Now let me very briefly run through the key difference between Lido V2 and trading STETH, because Lido's DAO's latest version, called as Lido V2, introduced a cool feature where you can actually trade your STETH tokens on secondary markets or even use them on other platforms. This means, guys, you can use your staked cryptocurrency for different things without waiting for it to be unstaked. Now, so far as the security measures are concerned, to keep everything safe, Lido DAO is a 2 million bug bounty program. This means they reward people who find and fix any issues with the system. And to be honest, guys, they've already rewarded some bug hunters for helping them improve security. So essentially guys, in summary, Lido DAO is a user-friendly way to earn rewards by staking your cryptocurrency. It's secure thanks to smart contract and the people who hold LDO tokens, and it's extremely secure thanks to the smart contract and the liquid staking approach, and the ability to trade HTE tokens make it even more flexible, and it is a modern and accessible way to be part of the blockchain network while earning rewards. Now let me very briefly run through how many Lido DAO tokens or coins are there in circulations, and the ticker symbol guys for Lido DAO is LDO, and as of June of 2023, the total circulating supply of Lido tokens is roughly around 879 million, around 88% of the total supply, and the maximum supply is $1 billion. Now let me very briefly run through the tokenomics of Lido tokens, because the DAO treasury has roughly around 36.32%, investors have 22.18%, the validators and signature holders guys have 6.5%, and initial Lido developers have 20%, and that is quite a lot, isn't it? And the founders and future employees have 15%. So look guys, Lido token is definitely a really cool project, and if you're someone who's a tech expert and wants to get in the cryptocurrency space, you definitely need to check out Lido. Now guys, let's discuss the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And unfortunately guys, since the last few days, the price of Bitcoin is not looking good. At one point of time, it did actually cross the $30,000 mark, but unfortunately, as of the 7th of August, the price of Bitcoin is down to $29,102. But since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.26%. But since the last 7 days, it is down by 0.60%. Ethereum is at $1,830. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.14%. Since the last 7 days, guys, it is down by 1.86%. Binance Coin, for some odd reason, has been relatively consistent, considering the fact that there's so much drama going on, particularly in 2023 regarding Binance. I still can't understand why the price of Binance is relatively stable. Even if you look at market cap of Binance BUSD, it is definitely in a turmoil. But nonetheless, guys, the price of Binance BNB coin is at $243. And since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.26%. Since the last 7 days, it is marginally up by 0.34%. Now, there's this massive news circulating right now, guys, is regarding Ripple. And looks like Ripple whales are definitely on the verge on dumping the XRP tokens. And mind you, guys, the whales have started dumping XRP after taking the hefty profit. And on-chain data actually shows that since 19th of July, the overall supply in addresses holding somewhere between 100,000 to 100 million coins have decreased from 6.85 billion to 6.75 billion, so definitely not ideal. And News BTC guys has stated something really critical and important, that retail investors and smaller holders often get caught up in the excitement of price rises and buying at the top. And when Ripple whales find out about this, they take the profit and they tend to sell it. And whales are most likely to sell off after massive price jumps and back in after a pullback. And this is actually common business, isn't it? Everyone would do that, whether you're a whale or even if you're not a whale. But unfortunately, guys, at the macro level, this actually resembles more of an MLM, isn't it? This is definitely not ideal. And surprisingly, guys, when you talk about Ripple, does Ripple actually use any blockchain protocol? Definitely not. They definitely have a cryptocurrency called XRP, but there is absolutely no need for it, because Ripple, guys, essentially is a software, and there is absolutely no need for XRP. So when the SEC lost the case that XRP was not a security, it's definitely a massive blow, or you can take it in the positive way if you're a massive advocate of cryptocurrency and Ripple. And guys, Anthony Welfare, who's one of the key people in Ripple, to actually mention via Twitter that tokenization is the future of real estate. And what he also said is some real crucial piece of information regarding central bank digital currency. And could it be possible that Ripple is actually getting into the central bank digital currency space as well? Definitely possible. And what he actually mentioned in the tweet is that the company, that is Ripple, believes that tokenization of global illiquid assets could be approximately $16 trillion business opportunity by 2030. So to position itself, most likely Ripple is building tools and services for tokenizing assets and facilitating blockchain-based trading. Now mind you guys, could it be an indication that STO or security token offering could be the next buzz hype, could be the next buzzword? Definitely think so, because to be honest guys, right now the buzzword is Web 3.0, but based on this tweet, looks like he's talking about tokenization. And Anthony Welfare also stated that central bank digital currencies are gaining traction globally, and Ripple CBDC's team are forming a real-world use case of CBDCs or stablecoins, and he also gave some indication if Ripple is going to get into central bank digital currencies, and what he actually stated that they're piloting a project that actually combines a hypothetical EHKD, that is tokenization real asset, and finance lending protocols that essentially allows users to tokenize real estate as collateral for loans, and the solution, guys, will leverage Ripple CBDC platform, which according to him is a secure, private permission ledger. Now, one of the biggest worries, guys, regarding permission ledger is a double entry can actually happen. This actually goes back to the basics of Bitcoin, guys, and one of the biggest innovations of Satoshi Nakamoto was he actually solved the double spending problem. So it's so critical that he truly understand what double spending is. In case of permission ledger or permission blockchain, there are few entities who have the power to go ahead and change the details in what goes into a block, and because of the immutable nature of blockchain protocol, it remains in blockchain systems forever. Now, guys, let's discuss some crucial piece of information, and this is regarding Bitcoin. And next year, guys, 2024 is when the US election is going to kick in, and as I mentioned earlier, guys, politics and politicians have a very strong say in the trajectory and the direction of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, let me give out some bits and pieces of information regarding Bitcoin and politics. Now, as of now, there are 3 politicians who are definitely in favor of Bitcoin. And to be honest, guys, what is surprising is that 2 of them are Republicans, and one of them, technically, he's Democrat, but his ideologies are definitely more Republican. Now, Miami Republican Francis Zorus has actually announced that he's accepting cryptocurrencies for campaign donations, and the 2024 presidential candidate did actually reveal the decision to accept digital currencies via an interview on CoinDesk TV. Now, mind you, guys, he also said that he's not only restricting the cryptocurrency donations just for Bitcoin but for other cryptocurrencies as well. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see how Bitcoin maximalists do actually react to this news, because I very specifically remember, guys, Miami is kind of like the hub so far as Bitcoin events is concerned, and he's often been noted for being a Bitcoin maximalist and a Bitcoin supporter as well. And it's so critical, guys, to understand that he's open to accept not Bitcoin but all cryptocurrencies. Now, the second Republican, that is the governor of Florida, that is Ron DeSantis, he also said that he will end the Biden administration's alleged war on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and he said that during a campaign event in New Hampshire. So it looks like, guys, there are 2 Republicans who are definitely in favor of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. As a matter of fact, what Rob DeSantis said, that we are going to allow Americans to invest in things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So definitely positive news. But to be honest, guys, the most shocking but not surprising statement did actually come from Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, mind you, guys, Robert Kennedy Jr. is a Democrat, but his ideologies definitely resemble that of a Republican. And what he has actually said, that he has vowed to back the US dollar with Bitcoin. This, to be honest, is absolutely massive news. And to be honest, guys, that is if not one of the most brilliant use case of Bitcoin. And what he actually said, that once he gets elected as president, he will even exempt Bitcoin from taxation. Now, to be honest, guys, I really like his ideologies. And even if you're a Republican, you'll definitely like Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, imagine a world, guys, where President Donald Trump gets re-elected, who is a Republican, and a Democrat is a vice president, that is Robert Kennedy Jr. That'll be an absolute brilliant win, not just for the US, but also for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And to be honest, guys, there will be peace like no other. So what I'm going to say next, guys, is really critical, particularly keeping in mind politics and politicians in the world of Bitcoin. And I've said this few times in my Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast. Right-wing politicians and right-wing ideologies are definitely in favor of Bitcoin, are definitely in favor of open source, are definitely in favor of freedom of speech as well. But left-wing ideologies and left-wing politicians are definitely not in favor of Bitcoin, are definitely not in favor of cryptocurrencies, not in favor of open source, and are definitely not in favor of freedom of speech. And these left-wing ideologies are massive advocates of Bitcoin. And later on, guys, when I'm going to be talking about an event regarding central bank digital currencies, I'm definitely going to retouch on this, because right-wing ideologies and right-wing politicians are definitely against central bank digital currencies as well. And for citizens all around the world, it is so critical that we truly understand the difference between Bitcoin and central bank digital currency. And guys, on the 31st of August, I do have a session called a Special Hour Analysis, where we break down political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental, and religious analysis on Bitcoin. So please feel free to check it out. Now, guys, let's discuss some unfortunate news, and that is regarding WorldCoin. And there's a lot of rumors and speculations backed by some facts regarding centralization. The WorldCoin's native token, guys, that is WLD, has definitely gone down in value between $2.69 and $2.13 per token throughout the preceding 12 days. And at one point of time, guys, the WLD token was at $3.30 on 24th of July. Now here's the interesting bit, guys. The number of individual addresses possessing WLD under WorldCoin's umbrella has definitely surged up by more than 148%, escalating from 164,195 wallets to a figure of 408,721 unique addresses. Now, detailed information can actually be looked at via bitcoin.com. And guys, to be honest, it is quite simple to go ahead and get your wallet. You need to go ahead and download the World app. Then you need to go to a local area and do your retina scan. And if you do that, you do tend to get some free tokens. Now, here's the important and scary bit, guys. The top 20 wallets command 94% of WLD supply. And guys, it's important to note that these 20 wallets could be controlled by just one person as well. Now, what would happen if they actually decide to dump all the tokens? All the use case of WLD tokens will be completely going to drain, and people's value so far as WLD token will completely go to zero as well. Now, let me share some bits and technical information, cause from July 24, 2023 to 5th of August, that is last Saturday, WorldCoin's native asset WLD has maintained a median average of the price of $2.41 per token over the course of the past 12 days. And on the 24th of July, guys, WLD token did reach a new all-time high of $3.30, and that is because of centralized exchanges accepting WLD token to be onboarded onto the exchanges. Now, what has improved in WorldCoin's recent performance is the rise in the number of unique addresses, and as of 25th of July, guys, the count of WLD tokens stood at 164,195 wallets, and fast forward to 12 days, that is till the 5th of August, the figures expanded by 1.48% to 408,721, the number that I mentioned earlier. And look, guys, there is only one way forward for it, and to be honest, guys, so far as the security features are concerned, I don't think so this protocol is that bad. What I'd really recommend you to do is Bankless has, if not one of the most brilliant episodes with the founder, that is Sam Altman, and another co-founder, where they actually got and discuss how they actually went ahead and built the physical device, that is the orb, where you have to do your retina scan and quite a lot of other, and looks like they're also utilizing zero knowledge proof as well. So once again, guys, read through the information from the first source, listen to the podcast where they give interviews, and then make your own decision. Now, guys, let's have some update regarding the legend Sam Bankman-Fried, and looks like Sam Bankman-Fried might face jail time as the US Department of Justice pushes for incarceration. So let me give out more bits of information, because listen, guys, Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the founder of FTX, is facing legal troubles at the US Department of Justice, and this is because the US Department of Justice this time is pushing for incarceration, and Bankman-Fried's defense team is not denying that he shared a former colleague's diary with the New York Times, and the Department of Justice argues that his actions to go beyond free speech rights and constitute an improper attempt to discredit a trial witness and bias potential jurors. And the defense guide had initially claimed that Sam Bankman-Fried was defending his reputation, but the Department of Justice, on the other hand, asserts that he engaged in covert steps to intimidate and harass the witness, and the Department of Justice points out that Sam Bankman-Fried used encrypted messaging apps to delete messages, potentially to cover his tracks, and they suggest that he may have even tipped off the New York Times about the diary before sharing it. And the filing, guys, also criticizes Sam Bankman-Fried's focus on irrelevant matters, such as his interactions with FTX's current CEO, in an attempt to deflect from his own actions. And Judge Lewis Kaplan is overseeing the case and may schedule another hearing to discuss the ongoing legal dispute. And the legal experts suggest that the Department of Justice needs to convince the judge that Sam Bankman-Fried poses a danger to the community by attempting to intimidate witness or violate court orders. If successful, guys, this could definitely lead to his incarceration, and looks like he just ended up might being in jail. Mind you, guys, this information is still to be developed, but guys, listen, knowing the history of left-leaning administration, and his parents were left-leaning politicians as well, I wouldn't be surprised if he does get minimal sentence as well. Now, guys, let's discuss two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. The first news, guys, is regarding an event that I'm conducting on the 1st of September, and it is called a Central Bank Digital Currencies, where we explore the basics, threats to freedom, and its role in the metaverse. And the session, guys, takes place on the 1st of September between 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, and the session is completely free of cost, and you can register it via eventbrite.com. So essentially, guys, the session is broken down into three parts. Now, in part A, we go ahead and discuss what is central bank digital currency. We would look at the history of CBDCs, how does CBDC actually work, and what is the correlation with cryptocurrencies. And we'll also go ahead and look at the current state of CBDCs, and we'll go ahead and explore the different countries currently working on CBDCs. And looks like, guys, China and India are one of the lead advocates of CBDCs and definitely not ideal. We'll also go ahead and discuss why El Salvador's role in adopting Bitcoin, a legal tender, did actually motivate the IMF to focus a lot on central bank digital currency. And we'll also go ahead and look at IMF's stance on central bank digital currency, and when is it that UAE will actually go ahead and launch CBDCs. And in part B, guys, we'll go ahead and discuss the key difference between CBDC and Bitcoin. And guys, it's so critical that you truly understand the basic difference between Bitcoin and central bank digital currencies. And to be honest, guys, once you truly understand what Bitcoin is, I definitely am sure you would not be a massive advocate of CBDCs. We'll also go ahead and discuss, guys, if CBDCs do actually pose a threat to freedom. Because to be honest, guys, there are ways where the central banks can actually use zero knowledge proof or signature sharing or different privacy preserving protocols and make sure that CBDCs do actually help individuals. So we'll definitely look at that. And finally, guys, we'll also discuss the political implications of CBDCs, and one thing which I did mention earlier, what kind of politicians and what kind of ideologies do actually support CBDCs, and what kind of politics and ideologies do actually have strong resistance to CBDCs. And to be honest, guys, right-wing politicians and right-wing ideologies are definitely not in favor of CBDCs, and some politicians such as Tom Emmer have also gone ahead and tried to put up a bill to go ahead and put an outright ban on CBDCs. We'll also go ahead and discuss, guys, what is China's role in CBDCs and what kind of an impact that China's CBDC has, not just in the cryptocurrency world, not just in the CBDC world, but also in the cryptocurrency world. And guys, we'll also discuss the different types of CBDCs. So essentially, guys, there are three different types of CBDCs. One is a retail CBDC, you have multiple CBDC, and you also have wholesale CBDC. And mind you, guys, UAE is also part of multiple CBDCs with other countries. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that. And another point regarding CBDCs I'll discuss, guys, is its role in the metaverse. Because look, guys, I'm a massive advocate of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but looking at the number of people actually logging into metaverse and keeping in mind the blockchain trilemma problem, unfortunately, I don't think that Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies will be an ideal fit in the metaverse. I do feel that CBDCs, despite being centralized, will be an ideal fit in the metaverse. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at that. And in part C, guys, what I'm going to be discussing is UAE Central Bank's role and its FIT program. Essentially, they have different points that actually focuses on UAE Central Bank. So please feel free to attend that session, guys. The session is completely free of cost. And if you do want to find out more information, guys, go to eventbrite.com and just search for Blockchain DXB, and you'll see different events, and you can sign up for any of these events. But the event on central bank digital currency takes place on the 1st of September between 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. Now, guys, let's discuss the second news, and this news, guys, is regarding artificial intelligence, and it is all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the news is that Saudi Arabia's powerhouse, called as Mozn, is recognized as one of the world's fintechs for 2023. Now, let me try to break down this news, and what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to find out ways how blockchain and cryptocurrency merges with artificial intelligence. So the news is that Saudi Arabian AI powerhouse called Mozn has been recognized as the top fintech globally in 2023, and it was awarded a top global fintech company in the digital business solutions category by Statista, and Mozn, guys, was selected from 1,500 global competitors in a comprehensive assessment. And Mozn's flagship product, called as Focal, is an AI-powered risk and compliance platform. And Focal, guys, is adopted by financial institutions, including banking, insurers, and fintechs in emerging markets. And it recently got an award based on key performance indicators or KPIs across 9 market segments, and was rated as a world's top fintechs in 2023. And the evaluation process, guys, included both overarching and significant specific KPIs. And Focal, guys, excels in risk identification, measurement, mitigation, and fraud prevention. And they also focus on AML and KYC and know your business compliance and quite a lot of other. And over 1 billion screening checks were performed on beneficiaries using Focal. And Focal, guys, enhances efficiency, customer experience, and compliance through automation and AI. And Focal's artificial intelligence engine, combined with automation, sets new standards for risk decisioning in multiple languages, and customer rule builder for adaptable risk-based compliance configurations as well. And organizations, guys, can define thresholds and make it risk-based decisions using FOCO. And to be honest, guys, Mozn solidifies its position as a trusted partner in risk intelligence and fraud prevention. And Dr. Mohammed Al Hussein, the CEO of Mozn, expressed gratitude and commitment to Saudi Vision 2030 as well. And look, guys, Saudi Vision 2030 might just be one of the biggest events in the Middle East, and it just might set the stage for the Middle East to take over probably the European countries or maybe even the Western countries. And Mozn, guys, aims to drive financial security and compliance through artificial intelligence technology, and they emphasize continuous innovation and technological leadership, and they operate currently in Saudi Arabia, UK, and the UAE with nearly 200 employees, and they focus on harnessing artificial intelligence for digital humanity advancement and potential integration of blockchain technology as well. And blockchain, guys, as we know, can enhance transparency in financial transactions and compliance processes as well. And so far as cryptocurrencies is concerned, how is it that cryptocurrencies could actually merge with fintech solutions? Not so far as digital payments and cross-border transactions are concerned, guys. Could it be possible that you can merge it with, let's say, cryptocurrencies rather than fiat currencies? That is basic common sense, isn't it? Blockchain technology maybe can also be used for secure identification verification, so the data of KYCs or know your business processes can be streamlined and enhanced using blockchain technology, as long as, guys, they are kept in open blockchain. I think it'll be a brilliant use case, and smart contracts for automated compliance can also be done. And as we know, guys, blockchain-based smart contracts could automate and enforce compliance rules as well. And future possibilities probably can include where Mozn could explore blockchain and cryptocurrency integration for even more robust fintech solutions. Those are my thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think blockchain and cryptocurrencies are an ideal fit for artificial intelligence? And could it be possible, guys, that we can use artificial intelligence to create a blockchain protocol 100% using artificial intelligence and make sure that it is fully distributed to the needs of artificial intelligence? I definitely do think so. It is possible. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing cannot be done. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXB. In case you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by Arifa who asks, how do you think Ripple merges with CBDC and how will it play out? To be honest, Arifa, I do think it'll be an absolutely brilliant use case, because one thing you need to understand that Ripple does actually use a software, and this software is already being used by a lot of banking. But to answer your question, yes, I do think, Arifa, that Ripple merging with CBDCs will be, if not one of the most brilliant use case. And I specifically remember when I used to listen to podcasts regarding CBDCs, I used to often think that this might be a biggest threat to Ripple. But let's say if Ripple were to combine with central banks all over the world, it'll be an absolute game changer. But the big question is, at what cost? At a cost of centralization. But again, if you were to look at it, the whole banking the unbanking situation, this would actually solve the whole banking the unbanking situation to a certain extent. But more importantly, when you talk about remittances, the transactions will be done absolutely much quicker, even extremely cheaper as well. And more importantly, Arifa, if you look at the error rate in Ripple, it is none to zero. So RippleNet software and CBDCs will be an absolutely brilliant use case, and banks can definitely, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised why a bank would not want to do it. It does become extremely cheaper for the banks, and Ripple already has an inbuilt system. So getting central banks to use the RippleNet software will be an absolutely easy solution. That is such a brilliant question, Rifa, to be honest. I have another question by Nelson who asks, do you think the inflation is dying down? Now, to be honest, Nelson, at this point of time, the inflation numbers are definitely looking good, but it is definitely not the best. And one misconception generally people have is that they generally talk about the US inflation being really high, but if you actually compare US inflation, let's say with other countries, the inflation numbers of US is kind of like the best of worst It is definitely not the best, but if you look at it right now, the UK inflation numbers is ridiculously bad. Even Pakistan inflation number is bad. India's inflation is really bad. So it is kind of like the best of the worst. Now Fed's role is to go ahead and bring down the inflation to less than 2%. Now when will this thing happen? I really am not sure, to be honest, Nelson, because one of the biggest worries, and this is something which I talked about with my friends as well, is the US election is taking place next year. And knowing the notorious history of politicians, and I'm talking more about the left-leaning politicians, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of war that actually eventually takes place. And historically, these notorious events do actually take place in the third quarter or fourth quarter of the previous year. And 2023 is kind of like the previous year for 2024, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, the United States of America does actually go ahead with a war. And this, mind you, is only regarding the US election. Because of the US election taking place, what would happen is, let's say if the US does actually go in war, somewhere somewhere they actually state that during times of war, people are most likely to vote for the current administration who's currently in charge, which does not make any sense. But it looks like Biden might be the first time where people actually do vote for the other power. Now, keeping all these things in mind, I do feel that right now the inflation is going down, but news regarding politics and politicians could definitely research the inflation. And historically, if you look at it, what the US government has been doing is that they have just been printing money, so it just gives a breather for the next few months. But after a few months, the inflation does actually picks up pace. And one thing, Nelson, which a lot of people tend to forget is in December of last year, the left-leaning administration did actually print more money in order to die down the inflation. And one of the reasons why we see the inflation is going down is because new money has been injected, and over a period of time, and it won't take long, maybe the next 2 months or so, the inflation numbers will definitely be picking up pace, and Federal Reserve Board Chair, that is Jerome Powell, will be announcing the next interest rate hike somewhere in September. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if inflation marginally picks up pace by then. And one thing, Nelson, is so critical to understand when you look at inflation. The only website to look at is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So the big question to your question is, where does Bitcoin fit into all of this? Unfortunately, Bitcoin has not been proven to be a safe haven so far as inflation is concerned, even during times of pandemic or even during times of war. Looks like stablecoins has definitely played a crucial role. Now, could it be possible that stablecoins will be diminished as and when central bank digital currency kicks in? I definitely do think so, because why would you want to use stablecoins where you already have central bank digital currencies? And mind you, Nelson, is so critical to understand that stablecoin issuers and stablecoins in general do not follow the ethos of open blockchain, and your transactions in stablecoins can also be censored in just a matter of few seconds or few minutes. So those are my thoughts, but definitely a brilliant question, Nelson. So again, Nelson, because of the re-election, I really am not sure if the world is heading possibly towards another World War III or something, and that is exactly what Robert Kennedy Jr. did actually tweet and said that Biden is actually planning to go ahead with World War III and most likely will be waging a war against Russia. Now, could it be possible that scarier times are ahead? Definitely yes. So those are my thoughts regarding that, Nelson. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee Date, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And other series of episodes in the Crypto and Coffee Date works is we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.